nothing back. Push yourself to your limit and me to mine. Is this truly the best Heidelland's chosen can master? Vaunted fortitude. Soon you will know the full extent of my power. For the taking! Mine for the taking! Test of your reflexes! Mine for the taking! Have you no rage left for me? No rancor? Of your reflexes! Mine for the taking! For the taking! Did you not wish to take my head? my soul, how it burns! I know you feel the inferno swelling within you. Come! Let all creation be consumed by our ravenous fervor! I have you! Do not tell me your life's fire is already spent. Yes! Yes! Rise once more! It mustn't end yet! Show me your vaunted fortitude! Test of your reflexes! I have you! No, not yet. Not until the last of me is spent. Bad! Now fall! This is my moment! Our moment!
That I should lose again. How disappointing. Never have I understood those around me, understood their obsessions. Besieged by their banality, the world is a mire of tedium and trivialities. But in these fleeting moments, there is a spark, blinding, brilliant. Gone too soon. What of you, my mirror? Born into this world, bestowed name, bid to seek out strife and adventure. Was this life a gift or a burden?
Eorzea, Ishgard, authored Alameda.
Did you find fulfillment?
The Crystarium, the Scions.
Can you hear? Safe. Must tend to. Open your. Please.
Someone, and
Please.
you can't leave us! Not like this! If you do, I'll never forgive you! So come on! Open your eyes and get up!
Are you with us?
to the end of the line.
Oh, thank the heavens. For a moment we thought... After what you've done, you're the last person to be asking that. You... How can you keep your promise if you're not here?
Another fine show you've put on, my friend.
A fine show indeed. What were you thinking? Fighting alone? Never do that again. My poor heart couldn't bear it.
Put yourself in our place. If you hadn't returned, how do you think we would feel? And if that sounds harsh, it's because we care.
We tended to thy wounds as best we could. But how is the pain? That is gladdening. Grievous as thine injuries were, however, I would counsel repose for a time.
Gladdening! There's nothing gladdening about this! When Meteion appeared in here and told us that you were right behind her, we all got our hopes up. But you never came! And when you finally deign to appear, you're within an ilm of your life! Damn you! Damn you for making us worry!
Oh, those were cries of celebration! Anyway, well, the important thing is that you're all alive and in reasonably good health, and we mean to get you back that way. As for your earlier request, I'm quite certain we're in range to make contact now.
Ah, excellent. Let us announce our return at once. I hope you're ready.
While you were unconscious, we set out from Ultima Thule, you see. Can you stand? If so, you may wish to see what's outside. We're home, my friend. We're home.
House Four Toms forever. Ulda. Alamigo. Golem Hold. Radzatan. Authored.
Is that? It is! It's the Ragnarok! They're back!
Now we got a spaceship.
Truly.
They've done it! Welcome home. Rah! Yes!
Welcome home, everyone!
This has to be one of the most emotional stories Final Fantasy has ever done. I mean, that's even including, like... Look, like, 10 was a really emotional game, but, like, wow. There's just so many mixed emotions at the end here, like, whoa. So many stories got tied up.
Welcome home!
I'm glad we didn't lose anybody. I'm actually, you know, it would have been too predictable if we lost somebody, in my opinion. And it wouldn't have served any purpose. Wow. So that was Final Fantasy XIV. This is the end to basically Final Fantasy XIV. This is it. Obviously there's going to be more stuff on the way, you know, new stories, new adventures to go on, new characters, whatnot. But, oh, that's the first time we met Tataru. This is concluding everything from Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 all the way to Endwalker. To recount my experience with this game, I actually didn't play 14 until about 2015. I heard about the game's I knew of the game's existence. Then eventually when I got a PS3, I was introduced to PlayStation Home. And, oh, that was just a whole nother can of worms. PlayStation Home allows you to jump into games with people you met in PlayStation Home. Allows you to chat with people. And, it was a limited time service. PlayStation Home ended, like, I think around 2015. So, I was looking for an MMO experience. I was looking for something, you know, that would fulfill my expectations of, like, dot hack. People would go into these, like, MMOs in, like, virtual reality and, like, make friends and relationships to people that they meet on these games. It's that deep. But for me, I'm more of a story guy. I'm more of, like, a single player game type of person, so but when I played Final Fantasy IV for the first time on the DS, it was the DS remake of Final Fantasy IV, and it really showed me that there was a lot more to video games than just, you know, mindlessly just pushing buttons. Like, it really showed me like there was like a story to them, there was strategy. You know, not every game is the same, but like from what I've played of Final Fantasy IV all the way up to Final Fantasy XV, you know, and I played the first three as well, but you know, just that whole experience of getting to know the characters and leveling and like getting stronger and then like failing and then succeeding, failing and then succeeding. It kind of like speaks to life, because you know, in school I was very terrible at school. I was terrible at taking tests because I'd always get nervous, and that nervousness always led me to, you know, doubt myself a lot. And so like I would fail a lot in school, I wouldn't succeed, I'd get like tutors and stuff like that, but you know, over time, you know, it just became such a problem. Thanks to my mom, like I was able to go to a school, I was able to go to this different school. It was like a alternative learning school. They basically showed me that I had the capability to succeed in life. Like, I had the capability to memorize things, and you know, all throughout high school I ended up passing because the way I approached things was more hands-on. You know, experiencing this game kind of taught me, even if you fail like 100 times, it doesn't mean that you don't keep trying. You forge ahead. The power of belief is strong. The power of prayer is strong. And the reason it's strong is because it motivates you. And it motivates other people. I do believe that, you know, there is this unseen force that works in mysterious ways. Just my beliefs are very different, and you know, they're my personal individual journey, and I do have faith. And whether that faith leads me to success or not is entirely up to me. You know, I understand like this MMO is sort of dated, like, you know, it's it's a downgraded, you know, graphics from what it originally looked like. But it was a necessary downgrade, and I think this team of developers has done a great job making this a beautiful game, despite all that. Alright, so time to see what's at the end here. Oh wow. It's me. It's us. We're forging ahead. Producer and director Naoki Yoshida. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Yoshida. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. What a masterpiece this game is.
Dearest mother, dearest father, this letter will be the very last that I write to you from the rising stones. As I commit these words to parchment, I fondly recall my journey as a scion. From the time I first walked into the Order's former halls, to the time I set forth to forestall the final days. At the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, we fought the battle of our lives.
Moonbreeder.
Fought against despair itself. A veritable maelstrom of it, fed by the resignation that dwelled in the hearts of beings not so unlike ourselves. Full oft have I harbored the same malaise. Have I been brought to my knees, crushed by the weight of sorrow and defeat, convinced that I will never rise again.
The Crystal Braves, the ones who betrayed us.
However,
the reunion.
I have also known many moments of unbridled joy and happiness. By this truth do I find hope within, blooming resplendent, like the Elpis flower. And thus do I endure. Do I look forward to creating more memories with my friends and loved ones. For from these fertile seeds, yet more hope shall spring forth.
Philamine.
And they will grow to become shining lights that illuminate the dark. Thus believing, I leave the rising stones behind, as will my comrades. For, as we have decided, after careful deliberation, we are disbanding the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Wow. No way.
There you are, Alphino. Everyone is already gathered in the foyer.
My apologies. I'll be right there. At least, that is what the story will be.
Oh, you sly fox.
Sorry to keep you all waiting.
What could you possibly have left to do now?
Oh, just a letter.
I imagine it will be a while before we can gather like this again.
So it must be, if we're to keep up appearances. From now on, it falls to the Grand Company of Eorzea and its allies to deal with the realm's crises.
Meanwhile, we shall return to our erstwhile ways. Retreating from plain sight to take our place in the shadows once more.
Indeed. For the foreseeable future, I expect that we must work independently as we seek out problems that want for solving. But a day will come when we face another great challenge, and we will face it together, as we always have.
As much as I look forward to that day, I do hope it doesn't come anytime soon.
Well, formal association or no, if any of you should require my services, you need but ask. I'll be glad to keep my lance arm honed.
I'll hold you to that. So you had better keep your link pearl on hand.
So you really mean to stay, Tataru?
Oh, someone has to keep the Rising Stones in proper order. And even a super-secret organization requires a super-secret base of operations. To the rest of the world, it will be naught more than a workshop for Eorzea's foremost up-and-coming artisan. If you thought our coffers were full to bursting before, just wait till I can devote myself wholly to the crafts.
Plotting to build a mercantile empire to rival that of Lord Lodorito, are we?
She is a potato.
I, for one, look forward to your future successes, Tataru. As do I our next meeting.
And with that, I believe it is past time you all made ready to depart. Leave no preparations undone or words unsaid, all right? Now, off with you.
Let's talk to Thancred. Ah, a champion and savior. I was beginning to think my chance for an audience would never come. That sounded more amusing in my head. Speaking of heads, I was worried about yours, and the rest of you, for that matter. On the mend, I trust? Glad to hear it. You were in a bad way, and healing magics or no, I'm impressed by how swiftly you've recovered. Then again, 'tis hardly the first time you've cheated death. Your strength of will has never failed to astonish me. Look at what you've accomplished. Media undefeated, her song of oblivion cut short, the source and all her reflections, delivered from the final days. If you had faltered at the last, then all hope would have been lost, but you held fast. Now Reen has a tomorrow to look forward to, and I could ask for no greater gift than that. As for a lesser gift, however, the next time you see her, I would appreciate you not describing my travel plans with Urianger as aimless wandering. We've a purpose in our roaming, after all, keeping an eye on things in the absence of the Scions on the world stage. There will never be an end to the little problems that go unattended by nations. We will do our best to help out where we can. Which I suppose is an approach not far removed from aimless wandering when you get down to it. Perhaps you could tell her I'm faring well and leave it at that, eh? No need to mention this feeling being uprooted. I've never been one to stand still for long, but when I think of home, 'tis the Rising Stones which comes to mind. How many times we have set out from this base, thence to return when our work was done. On the day the Scions came together, I only hoped for Minfilia to find a place where she belonged, but never did I expect to find one here for myself. Indulge me, Auric. I have a question for you, and imagine Minfilia herself is asking. Are you glad you joined the Scions? Hell yeah. Best decision I ever made. I can honestly say the same. But all good things must come to an end, at least for a time. Should you need a helping hand for infiltration or reconnaissance, you know who to ask. I'll come running, and you'll likely get a certain funny-talking fortune teller to the bargain.
Rick, seen to your preparations, have you? I'm just making another soup of my belongings. Wouldn't do to find I've forgotten something halfway to my destination. In case you hadn't heard, we've received new reports detailing the devastation caused by the final days. It appears the situation is gravest in the land surrounding the bounty, where the sky first began to burn. After that, the calamity was observed in the far north, in Garlemald, and the frozen lands beyond. We also had reports of the heavens catching fire in isolated locations, one of which was in an area in the northern empty. Had our quest taken any longer, Charlian too may have come under threat. Thank goodness it's over now. To be sure, blasphemies and lesser beasts may still be roaming about, but these localized threats should be well within the capacities of each nation to handle on their own. The Scions are no longer needed. Which isn't to say we won't help out where we can, of course. As individuals, no more of this order business. For my part, I'll be heading to Garlemald with Alphinaud. They were among the worst affected, and still need all the help they can get. It won't be easy. An inevitable part of aiding those in need is coming face to face with tragedy. Knowing it doesn't make it any easier, though, that I'll curse my weakness. My inability to fix every problem and save every lost soul. But no matter how much it hurts, I won't give up. I'll do what I can for as many people as I can, begrudging no effort. And should I find myself discouraged, I'll remember you. Think back fondly to one of your many moments of triumph, and the accompanying determined expression. Even those that still annoy me in retrospect, like when you activated the teleporter without warning. And should you hear about me, I want you to remember too. Remember that I'm out there somewhere, trying my very best. I look forward to hearing all about the legendary LSA. Not that I'm trying to become famous or anything. That being said, next time we meet, I'll be vastly improved, so don't be surprised when you find yourself marveling at me. Oh, Ulrich, might you have a moment to talk? With the Scion stepping away from public eye, I've been left to consider what new endeavors I might pursue. And after speaking with Kryl, I've decided I will be assisting her in rebuilding the students of Baldesion. Not only am I indebted to Master Gala for giving me a new home, but had our order never existed, I would never have set foot within this crystal tower. How different my life might have been. I would have never met you, never became caretaker of the tower, never become a Scion. You gave me the chance to do so much good, and I hope to continue to do so with the students. For an added benefit, new mysteries often find their way to our doorsteps. Mysteries that could prove ideal for fulfilling our promise, to embark on a new adventure together unlike any we've experienced before. Whenever you have the time and inclination, my friend, I stand ready to accompany you into the unknown. Do you recall in the realm of the Omicrons, when I asked if you thought I may someday be mentioned in your epic? While 'tis true, to earn a place at your side would be the stuff of dreams. In the end, nothing would give me greater joy than to stand with you in the here and now. It needn't be some grand endeavor. There needn't be a promise. Whenever adventure calls, I won't hesitate to invite you, and I hope that you will do the same for me. Without a second thought. I'll hold you to that. As much as we already have seen, there's still so much we haven't. Who knows? Perhaps we'll even encounter survivors of the Omicron somewhere out here. After all, given how much they took to the stars, it isn't implausible that some found themselves far from home, And should we encounter a wayward traveler awaiting commands that will never come, I would bid them seek adventure with someone, and with that partner find new purpose, a new dream. For if crystals can hold fast to dreams, why not Omicrons? Wherever your plans may lead, do not hesitate to send word, and should a commission of interest come my way, you will be the first to know. I had to save Alphino for last. Oh, Oric, pray forgive me for delaying the gathering. I was writing a letter, you see, to my parents. As busy as father has been tending to the aftermath of the Exodus, he has been good enough to show concern for the silence. And besides, I've made them worry enough for a lifetime. Henceforth, I will endeavor to write as often as I am able. A little effort to set their minds at ease while we continue to be away from Charlene. Both Alisei and I are off to assist with Golemold's recovery, you see. Though uncertainty remains over what will become of the nations, we cannot well leave the capital in its present state. We will rejoin those members of Illuspar contingent still stationed there. Lucia and Maxima helm the relief effort, with support from our allies, the people of Golemold among them. They will gradually be joined by those who have finished treating the temperate across the lands. Lest you misunderstand, we do not seek redemption for failing Dicinia and her sister. That is a burden we must always bear. Nay, we go because of the truth of Lord Quintus's words. The truth that, whatever ideals individuals may espouse, nations are not moved to action unless they stand to benefit. For the foreseeable future, the fallen empire will be at the mercy of both internal and external forces. And though I do not doubt the intentions of the contingent, greater powers involved in the relief effort, our allies might well find themselves drawn into a political agenda. In going, we seek to ensure the needs of the people come first, to understand their hearts, that we might better help them to begin anew. You'd best write to me, too. Write you letters, of course. I would be glad to do so. But I would be gladder still were you to come and visit. And I believe I speak for Alisei as well. For fairly as long as I've been in Eorzea, you've been at my side, watching over me in good times and in bad. How many times have we gathered to share tidings? None could possibly keep count. The world is changing and will continue to do so. Yet no matter what the future brings, I hope that I can ever look to you, in good times and in bad, as a dependable comrade and dear friend both. Thank you, Oric, from the bottom of my heart. Spoken your fill, have you? If so, I'm thinking to send everyone over. With your permission, then. Your attention, please. At risk of spoiling the mood, the time of departure is upon us. In my capacity as your receptionist, I bid you all safe journeys. Till next we meet, be well.
I suppose we're off to Garlemald then. Though we ought to speak with Lord Emmerich first. If he's received word of any recent developments, we need to know.
'Twould be prudent to purchase some warmer clothes at least. Mayhap we can pick up a few souvenirs for Euless and the others while we're at it.
Where will you all be heading next?
Dravania. There is a book I've been meaning to borrow from the great Google Library. And I can think of at least one person who will be most displeased should I fail to visit before leaving.
We've no particular destination in mind, but we do intend to stop in Sharlayan before we set off.
We had thought to ask after the Loporrits. I am curious as to how well those who chose to remain are adapting to their changed circumstances.
Might we accompany you then? Raha and I were planning to return to the Baldessian Annex.
Commissions have been piling up in our absence, and they must be dealt with ere we begin our work in earnest.
Estinian, you will return to Radzat Han, will you not?
Aye. For Vritra's benefit, though I've yet to hear the details. I may not stay long.
I see. Then it is here the Scions at last part ways, each to some far-flung corner of the realm.
Perhaps. But I believe one of our number, a rather important one at that, has yet to divulge his plans.
Quite right.
Indeed.
Fair point.
So, what's next for our humble adventurer?
Yet stand tall, my friend. Our journey will never end.
The constancy of this place never ceases to amaze me. An ocean of souls, shimmering and eternal. And yet, something stirs. Yes. Steeped in darkness, deep as starless night. The beast hungers. Alas, I dare not investigate in earnest before the coming of my guiding star, as he foretold. We shall descend to the depths, you and I, to confront the dread beast Pandemonium. Oh, the sights we shall see. The sights we shall see.
And with that, I bid you all a very fond farewell. Thank you so much for watching.